So if you are driving down a highway and suddenly discover your brakes have failed, how can you bring the car to a stop? The best answer is pump your brakes rapidly. There's brake fluid that is in the brake system. You can shift to neutral. You can also cut the engine off. The goal is to slow your car down so it can stop. Number two, be ready for other drivers to do wrong things. It is a defensive driving rule to follow. This is true. All drivers, whether you're experienced or beginner or intermediate, do crazy things. So what you need to do is make sure that you understand that we're all human. We will make mistakes. Number three, make sure you have this out. I'm going over this information right now. You need to put your information into the chat. Okay, we start right at 6:30. So we've already started. We'll be done at 7:05. 35 minutes. The state said you need 35 minutes. I need all of you to listen and don't talk. Cars rushing an injured person to the hospital have the right of way and do not need to follow traffic laws. This is false. Your job is to be safe. Even if someone literally is bleeding out, if you run a light and hit someone, you're at fault. You want to get there as quick as possible, but you still got to slow down and do the best you can. Number four, you have entered a highway and pushed the gas pedal. You're trying to accelerate. You're trying to get up to speed. Much to your surprise, your gas pedal is stuck. That has happened before. It's very scary. So the best thing to do here is shift your car into neutral. The motor and car are disconnected, and then cut the car off. If you cut the car off, the electrical system runs the computer and spark plugs, and then the car will not move anymore. So the best thing to do is not panic when your car doesn't always act right, and cars do that, whether you have a new car or an older car. There is a defensive driving procedure called the Smith system of driving. Getting the big picture is one element of the system. What does getting the big picture mean? The correct answer for this is D, constantly analyzing traffic. The best advice I can give you from an OG experienced driver: look, see, watch, don't stare at anything. Get as much information as possible. Then you're going to be successful and not hit someone, run over someone, or have someone hit you. Things change rapidly, so you got to gather information and know what to do. Do I speed up? Do I slow down? Do I change lanes? Do I turn around? So you always have got to be aware. Next, when waiting in an intersection to make a left turn, we know left turns are the most dangerous. And that's where you could get hit. That's where I could get hit as an instructor. Thank God I have not. So the things I usually do are make sure I keep my wheels pointed straight. If my wheels are turned to the left, if I get rear-ended, we're going to be knocked into oncoming traffic. Next, it's really important that we all understand about left turns. Next, before turning left, it's important too, the correct answer here is B, yield to oncoming traffic. If you don't yield to oncoming traffic, you'll fail your driving test. If you don't yield to oncoming traffic, you're going to get hit. So beginning drivers and experienced drivers always struggle with left turns. It's very scary. You're dealing with cars. You're not sure how fast they're going. You've got to actually judge or estimate your distance. If you estimate too short, you're going to turn in front. If you estimate too late, you're going to get hit. So that's where all your skill comes in. And if you don't make a lot of left turns, you're going to freak out on your road test, because your road test is just going to sit there. And if you hesitate long enough, they're going to fail you. So you have to have enough confidence to do that on your own. From a one-way street, you usually turn and make a left lane from to the left curb lane. If you're in the left turn lane and it's a double left turn lane, you're by the double yellow, stay in that lane. If you're in a left turn lane and you're by the outside lane, stay to the outside. Usually students get hit, people get killed because you cut in between the lanes in the intersection. Next, come to an intersection with a flashing red light. You must stop. A lot of beginning drivers panic. Yellow, they panic. Green, they usually know what to do. Red, they panic. That flashing light does something weird to all drivers, and drivers who are in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. Don't panic. Understand the color of the light and make sure the intersection is clear. Let's keep eating. you're most likely to be driving in another driver's blind spot when you're being passed. So you want to really be aware when someone is passing you or you're passing someone that might not see you. A truck might come over. They don't mean to do it, but you got to be extra aware. And this is about awareness as we go on. I'm going to keep moving. If you're driving on a 2-lane road and see a car stalled on the roadway, okay, you're driving. A car is stalled on the roadway. You got to get over to change lanes. They could be under the car. It could be some metal on the ground. And it could have blown the motor. You've got to always look ahead and be ready to identify those hazards. And if you are, you're going to be safer. You won't damage your car. You won't rip your tires up. If you're the type of driver that just sees in front, you're going to end up killing someone. You got to see around you. What is the weather? What is the temperature? What is the light condition? Is it raining? Is it snowing? Are people driving crazy fast, 85, 95, 100? Are they driving about 70? Are they driving 75? And people drive an average of about 5 over, 7 over. I'm not advocating you drive over the limit. I never said that. But you will find out once you get on the interstate. Next, you're driving 2-lane roads. Okay, I already answered that. The correct answer for that, obviously, is pump your brakes because that's going to warn other drivers. Next, when changing lanes, you can check your blind spot by, you've got to look over your shoulder. A lot of beginners are scared to look. You look too long, you drift out of your lane. You'll get a minus on your road test. You guys getting ready to take your road test. You know how to drive. You just got to put everything that I've talked about, everything that your parents have taught you in motion, and most of you will pass your test. If you don't practice driving and you get out there, you're going to be like 17 and a half, like really nervous, 18 and a half, like nervous. You got to get out in traffic and drive. Next, before changing lanes, you must check traffic around you. You can't rely on your mirrors. Look, check. Next, for the best view while backing a vehicle in a straight line, the best view, that's the key word, best, you've got to turn to the right and look over your shoulder. A lot of you have grown up in the backup camera generation. Your backup camera will kill you and fail you. Look over your shoulder, look out of your back window. Occasionally check the backup camera, but look. Next, when deciding to change lanes or pass, you should check the rearview mirror and blind spots. Again, these questions are about rearview mirrors and blind spots. All of you should pass your test missing 1 or 2. If you miss 3, 4, 5, after 7 problems, you fail. So I'll say that again. You're all busy. You have football. You have band. You have this. You have that. I have stuff I have to do too. But if you don't take the time to focus on this, you won't pass. Next, let's keep eating. When you decide to pass on a 2-lane road, first, that's dangerous, right? You got to make sure it's clear. Is the car going too slow? Are you going too fast? Can you see? So on a 2-lane road, you got to judge distance. A lot of these questions are judgment. And again, I'm not with you. Many of you are just going to drive to school and drive home, drive to work, see your friend, go to practice, hang out with your friends after you win the football game, or you might lose a football game. But you're not going on the expressway. You're not going through roundabouts. You're going to hang out with your friends before 10 o'clock and go home. So you really got to practice those big driving skills. After passing another vehicle, do not return to the lane until you see the car in your inside rearview mirror. This way you have enough room.
Hello, can you repeat that, please?
So I'll deal with that when it's time. 639, unknown, saying random stuff. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna keep it moving. I don't have time to play. So let's use unknown as an example. He wants to play. I don't have time. He won't get his credit. I'll fight that good fight. Guys, listen to your instructor, do well, and at 7:05, you'll be done. Okay? All right, let's keep it moving. Next, you are driving on a 4-lane road. 4 lanes, 2 in your direction, 2 in the other. A school bus is going in the opposite direction. Now, if you don't have a physical barrier, you have to stop. If you have a physical barrier, you don't have to stop. That confuses a lot of students. You really got to be aware. Stop and wait until the bus turns his flashing lights off. I've seen a lot of students fail. I've seen kids almost get hit. To reduce the effects of headlight glare at night, you should look to the far right edge. There's the edge line or fog line. That's there to help you. In the last couple lessons, I've been driving adults and teens at night, and it's hard for them. They get a little scared. So again, I don't know if you guys even drive at night, right? So if you don't drive at night, you're not going to get used to that glare, used to seeing, learning how to see at night. And if you don't drive at night, you're just going to stay home when it gets dark. Honey, why are you home so early? I just want to come home. Whoa, it's like 9:30 and you're home? Yeah, I want to be home. Is that okay? Oh, it's fine. But your parents are wondering, you don't have to be home for another hour. So you have to get over your own fear and your own anxiety. What's up? How you doing? Okay, I'm gonna keep moving. Children are playing on the sidewalk at half a block ahead of you. So you're driving, you see kids, slow down. Kids will walk in front of the car. You are the young adult, and if you hit them, blood is on your hands. Well, they were playing and the kid had his headphones on and I tooted my horn and they didn't work and I just ran them over, but they bounced over the car. Well, you shattered the kid's hip and he'll never walk again. The law will come after you. Kids have cell phones, they have cameras. This car was speeding down the street. I know you weren't speeding, but they were going really too fast. They get a good lawyer, it's a wrap. Your driving career is done. So what I need you to do in that case with little kids, keep your eyes moving, make eye contact, be aware, slow down, get over all the way to the opposite side. And then you better be saying, where's your mom? Where's your dad? Who's watching you? Because little kids will run out in the street. Any person who drives a motor vehicle on public streets, it's considered to have given their consent to be tested. This is true. You give up your privacy, sorry. You give up your privacy. We all do. When we go in public, we're being videoed. When you go down certain streets, they're capturing your license plate. Okay? Your phone is maybe micro recording some of your conversations. If your parents have a smart car, the car manufacturers are capturing how fast you drive, how many stop events you have. And heaven forbid you kill someone, they're going to say, well, my client was doing 60 in a 50. They were in the 25 zone. They were doing 50. Let's pretend you were late to the game. You're done. So you always have to be aware. People are always watching. Next, the vehicle code. For punishment for vehicles he or she knowingly, if you're under the influence, you're just going to end up going to jail. And you're going to ruin your life. And once you get that type of charge, it's going to stay on your record forever. That 17 to 27, those are your prime years. You're going to work. You're going to go to college. You might find a husband or a wife. You're going to get a great job. And your boss will say, how come you're always here at 6 in the morning and we don't start to 8? You're going to have a talk to your boss. Or your boss is going to say, we start at 9. Why are you always here at 8:50? And I need you here at 8:30. You're going to have that talk with your boss if you lose your license. So you want to do your best to stay out of those types of situations. What is the percentage of blood alcohol content? It is 0.08%. That's pretty much standard across the United States. Some states want it lowered. And if we have enough accidents where alcohol is a factor, they're going to lower it. So the bottom line is you don't need to drink at all. You don't need to do any of those things. Next, 1 bottle of beer or cocktail will reduce the percentage of alcohol blood content in a 180-pound person. This is a very specific question. You might see it. The correct answer here is 0.025. You need to understand this. They're trying to teach you not to indulge, not to drink, and you got to make good decisions. If you're convicted of driving under the influence of alcohol, how many points will be placed on your personal record? It is 6 points. 6 points will kill your parents' insurance. Your parents will be put in a high pool of insurance rates. They're probably not going to let you drive. They're going to restrict your drives. You're going to have a felony. You're going to have it's going to set you up for failure in life. But some of you won't listen to me or your parents, and you'll get caught. Alcohol remains in your body. So these are alcohol-related questions. It puts your brain to sleep. So Your eyes can't focus. Your brain can't focus. You're going to die. It's plain and simple. You want to live. Under which of the following samples must be taken by a medical professional? This is a very specific question. We saw a video the other day. It is blood. Only a medical professional can draw blood. Officer can maybe require you to urinate. They can maybe have you blow into the breathalyzer, maybe saliva, but they cannot draw blood. Okay? If you are arrested for under the influence of alcohol, then implied consent requires, and this is a situation you have to, they're going to take a blood alcohol test. So once you sign your license, you give up your privacy. If you take a breath test, you will be asked to, this is to blow into a machine. And sometimes those machines are not properly calibrated. You might be able to get a lucky break if you have a really good lawyer. But most of the time, officers who feel you're under influence, they're going to video you in the car. They're going to video you on their body cam. And then they're going to have to do a field sobriety test. So you're done. You're cooked. Okay, but your lawyer may say, well, you know, their machine was not calibrated right, and that is the order of the law. So why would you even be put in that situation? Which of the following drugs has the greatest effect on your perception and speed? This is marijuana. A lot of states across the country have medical marijuana, and the voters have said, hey, this is going to bring revenue for the schools, revenue for the state. It's doing the opposite effect. You have people who are under the influence, you have people operating heavy machinery, and then you have people losing lives. So don't even mess with that. Which of the following effect of marijuana poses the greatest risk? And that is perception of speed and distance. Next, a driver's following distance behind another vehicle will vary by all the above. Weather conditions, you should drive slower, speed of the vehicle, and road surface. Next, which organ of the body is affected first by alcohol? It is the brain. It puts you to sleep. Let's keep moving. Which of the following statements is the justification for a driver to slow down when approaching a green light in a traffic situation? The correct answer is all the above. Emergency vehicle, slow down. A car may run a red light, slow down. And the signal may change soon, slow down. Next, what is the term used for time required to take your foot off of the gas pedal, place it on the brake? Correct answer is reaction time. Next, the average driver is moving his or her foot from the gas pedal and place it on the brake. Their car will travel 50 miles per hour. Will travel approximately how many feet on a highway? It is 55 feet. If you want to stop or slow down gradually in the car is on ice, you should use light, steady pressure. Tires will not mostly hydroplane if they are bald, okay? They will hydroplane if they're bald. If they're studded, our state doesn't allow studs. Some people overinflate tires. So the question is, most likely will. You run off the road into an unpaved shoulder. Turn your wheels sharply into the direction and then apply the brakes. So you want to control your car, use the ball of your foot. When approaching a sharp curve on the road, how can you best reduce the effects of nature's laws? This is control the speed of your vehicle, squeeze the brake, take your time. A police officer directs you to turn right, even though you have signal left. The best thing to do is turn as directed. Listen to your officer, and it's really important that you follow the rules. If a traffic officer waves you at an intersection and the light is red, you should follow the directions of the officer. We have 15. Does the vehicle code require motorists who collide with an unattended vehicle to leave identification? Yes. It's just a common courtesy. People have dash cams. People are, yeah, this car hit you. This kid in this red Mustang, man. He just kept going. No, the kid stopped. He put his information there. He put it under your windshield wiper. And that's a common courtesy because people lie. And I would just make a little video, take some pictures to cover yourself. The vehicle code requires a motorist involved in a traffic accident to show his or her license to the motorist. This is true. What is the legal maximum speed permitted when driving in a residential area? It is 25 miles an hour. What is the legal maximum speed permitted when driving on an expressway? The correct answer here is 70 miles an hour. You're required by law to use your low beam headlights when being approached from the rear. This is true. You don't want to blind other drivers. You're required by the law to use low beam headlights when approaching another vehicle on a divided highway. This is no, because there's a divider. You want to turn off your high beams within 500 feet. When parallel parking, in automobiles, maximum legal distance you're permitted to park from the curb is 12 inches. If you have received a ticket for a traffic violation, you're found guilty of said act, how long will those points stay on? This is 24 months. And for you, 24 months is basically half of your high school career. Your parents sure is this high. You're going to find a job. Your parents are going to make you pay the difference. They're not going to trust you. Trust is earned, not given. If you're coming to an intersection, flashing yellow light, you should drive carefully through the intersection, look left and right. Again, this struggles and kind of scares beginning drivers. As you approach the intersection, you see a car coming from the right. What should a defensive driver do? Slow down and make sure you know what the other car is doing. Next, to operate a motorcycle legally, this is in our location, you must have a motorcycle endorsement. You are driving down on the road to come upon a scene of an accident. No other people are at the scene. You know the driver is bleeding seriously. You realize the need to stop the bleeding. You want to best, apply for this one. You want to apply direct pressure. Next, you can be ticketed for driving too slow. Yes, you can. Because another driver might move into your lane suddenly without seeing your car, you should always adjust your speed and position to get out of the person's blind spot. Next, when following a vehicle that blocks your view ahead of the road, it is best to, correct answer here is overcome, it says follow at a greater distance, increase your following distance. Next, here you want to overcome 58. You want to follow at a greater distance. 57 was to adjust your speed and position. 60, and then I'm going to call on people for the other ones. When entering an expressway, you got to be able to merge. You got to be able to pick up speed. The most important thing here is to adjust your speed and position. All of you need to type in one thing you learned. We're done at 7:05. Type in one thing you learned into the chat right now. Let's go. You're trying to get your credit? You type it in. Prove that you were here. Type in one thing you learned. Give me a complete sentence. Don't waste time. There's no such thing as the perfect park. It takes practice. Sometimes you'll be too close to the curb. Sometimes you'll be out from the curb. You have to practice to get it within a range. The range is 12 inches. So stall parking, you want to get the car angled at a proper stall position. It takes work and practice, but a lot of beginning drivers are not willing to put in work. Guys, ladies, thank you. I will be talking to you later. Bye.